Hello everyone, welcome to the Wonder of Star Wars The Old Republic, episode number 36. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is actually part of an ongoing series, and if you want to start from the beginning or see some of the hidden past episodes, take a look for a link in the description. For those of you who have been playing this entire time, welcome back. We've just finished Nar Shaddaa and we went Datacron hunting last time, and now we're going to talk again to our master on our ship.
Apprentice, I know you are very busy, but I must speak with you. I have just had the most amazing dream, and it concerns you.
A dream. That's a bit creepy.
Can't get me out of your head, can you?
In the dream, I could see the power of the Force coursing through you. Armies of Jedi rose in your path and fell before you. It's the artifact. It must be. The artifact will give you this power.
Are you sure it wasn't just something you ate?
Only certain individuals, it seems, are properly attuned to the ritual the artifacts describe. I believe the remaining artifacts are on Tatooine and Alderaan. You must hurry and find them. The artifacts are the key to fulfilling your destiny.
So we actually have a choice of where we want to go next. We can go to Tatooine or we can go to Alderaan. So I always thought having this choice was very interesting because you get a similar kind of choice, I believe, earlier in the story too, but it never really made a lot of sense to me to go to the other planet. They're both marked as level 41, but in the past they were more level different between each other. One was lower and one was higher. Now you really get to choose. So I guess I'm gonna go find out what's up on Tatooine with Andronikos Ravel. For those of you who are looking forward to the news update of the week for Star Wars The Old Republic, we want to go Tatooine first. That's not how ships work. They don't just magically teleport to the place you need to be. You gotta press the buttons in the cockpit first. Tatooine. And while we load into our next planet, we'll hop right into the news. So as I mentioned last time, they're really looking into player versus player content over the summer and for the next couple updates. And that is a very exciting thing because players who enjoy PvP content, war zones, arenas, any type of content where you're actually fighting against another player in a match, have not gotten the best attention or care that they should have in the past. So now the developers are really doubling down and making sure they get the updates that they need. So when I talked to you last time, I believe I was telling you about some of the match changes they were making to make the maps shorter so they're more fun and you actually go through them and less stalemates, and to make them fair and avoid cheating and hacking and stuff like that. So that's been some really welcome things that they've been looking into. Of course, opinions on the actual changes are always varied, but in general it seems people are happy that they're at least looking into it. What they did not too long afterwards was actually they posted another update specifically to matchmaking, and they also posted changes to War Zones Part 2. So anyone who is playing PvP right now should be really excited about the sheer amount of communication that they are dishing out recently. It's been awesome. Sometimes when they make changes or create new systems or change the way things work, they just make their best guess and do it. They don't run it by anyone in the community, or at least not by the public community. Oh, Purple Quest. Talk more about
My
that
lord,
soon.
welcome to Tatooine. If you hold a moment, I can provide directions to the research center.
Research center?
I wasn't aware of any research center.
Sorry, my error. Much of the Imperial traffic we get is assigned to the archaeological expedition. Security, scientific equipment. They don't tell me what it's for. If you're going to be here long, you might wish to consult with Captain Gola. We wouldn't want to interfere with Sith activity.
I appreciate the help.
These are the center's coordinates. I'll alert them that you may be coming.
So what's been really cool is, for example, they made conquest changes, Players had been requesting those changes for a long time. Alright, who here on Tatooine do you want to eat, Kimbal? The heat does not trouble me, but keep cool on this world, little Sith. Unfortunately, Javiik is not built for keeping cool in the heat. He's a dark-furred kitty with a dark little goatee and black robes. You gotta get yourself some nice white linen there, Javiik, or you're gonna just sweat to death. So in the past, the Conquest updates, players really wanted a revamp to the system to make it fairer, more balanced, more fun, stuff like that. And they did it. They did a huge update, but it really didn't sound like it was exactly what players wanted. It felt like something that, if it had been talked about first, players could have provided some feedback to make it better without them having to do all the work of actually creating it. They could have just run it by people first.
My lord, I'm sorry for whatever business brings you to this worthless wasteland. You interested in striking a blow against the exchange? Sooner the Empire tightens the noose, the sooner most of us can ship home. Gangsters are smuggling our explosives out of Mos Ila, selling them to the Republic. We need to show them it's a bad idea.
Fill me in on the situation.
The exchange has been hiding their haul in back alleys until they consolidate for a big shipment. We need our explosives back, and we need to find out who's running their operation. If you'll help, I'll get you locations for all suspected stashes. But be careful. We've already lost good soldiers to the exchange guards.
I'll fight the whole galaxy if I have to.
If any of their men attack, search them. They must have a base, a way to communicate. Retrieving the explosives is important, but we must get to their leaders to stop this problem for good.
I like that Kimbal is often just standing in the background, staring over my shoulder during cutscenes. For most companions, it makes sense for them to be there, but for Kimbal specifically, he's a really creepy hanger-oner, and I'm surprised he doesn't make the quest givers run away as he's watching them.
Keela, I need those water readings. We won't get more supplies without a report.
Sorry, sir. I'll check soon as I can. Sand in the gauges.
Blast. Bring in some local technicians. See if they can fix us up while I greet our guests. My lord, Varden Gola, Imperial Reclamation Service. I've run excavations on Zeost, Malachor II, and Nimdrovis. But add a little heat and dust and we've got nothing but trouble.
Who's the one in charge?
I run the crew's day-to-day activities, but we report...
Captain Gola and his crew report to me. I am Darth Silthar. They are my hands, digging and scraping where I cannot. We came to Tatooine to solve a mystery, one of dead men and desert secrets. Not for conquest, but for power.
What could the Empire possibly need on this dust ball?
I too once viewed this world as insignificant. No longer. The Empire recently found a damaged shuttle drifting through deep space. It came from a Zerka Corporation research base on Tatooine.
Zerka had Tatooinian artifacts they claimed were the find of the millennium. Mystery devices with the energy throughput of a sun. But a month after the shuttle launch, their research base disappeared. Zerka never came back.
Somewhere in this wasteland is power enough to destroy a world, remake a galaxy. My team is going to find the Zerka base and these artifacts along with it. We will learn their secrets. Will you join us?
Tell me more about Zerka.
Fools who believe that research and technology are a match for true power. They will not interfere. Now, scattered across the desert, sheltered within caves, live a people called the Sons of Palawa. They are an exacting and ritualistic tribe, come to Tatooine to test themselves against the elements. A settlement nearby has something we need.
Test themselves how?
They pound their fists into sand, drill for water instead of using vaporators, what you'd expect.
Most importantly, the Sons of Palawa possess a clue to Zerka's fate. What did you call them, Captain?
Experimental battle droids, armed with turbo lasers, shields, and who knows what else.
Zerka droids, no doubt rebuilt by the Sons of Palawa. And the tribals are not inclined to share.
Perhaps we can negotiate an exchange.
After the Empire took Mos Ila, the Sons of Palawa decided we were invaders. They'll shoot anyone who gets close.
But why should that stop you? If the droids truly are from Zerka, I want their secrets. Dissect them, peel the droids' armor, and bring the captain their Verba brains. Then they will lead us to the missing Zerka base.
Oh, secrets in desert. I do remember Tatooine mostly on my Imperial Operative, and there's quite a few interesting storylines going on that class. So, before I jumped into the next quest, I was being very excited about the PvP changes. So, Conquest was not the only change that they had made without really consulting the player base. Galactic Command, the whole entire system that was introduced to 5.0 for endgame gearing, was done really, once again, without really talking to the players and finding out what they would actually think of it. And it was a disaster. It was horrible. Nobody was happy, not even the players they were trying to reach with that update were really happy about it. So I'm really glad that this time around it seems like they're trying to get as much input as they can before just creating something from scratch. I'm very pleased about how much they're talking about PvP, and they're also making follow-up responses as far as I can see. So what I'm really hoping is that they will... What do I actually have to do here? Collect communication codes? Oh, and the bodies of exchange infiltrators. And I'm really hoping that this isn't just lip service, that they're actually taking the feedback that players are giving them, like finding out what the most common answers and requests and complaints about their plans are, and then using it to... Oh my gosh! Evil! Using them to switch up their plans and make them better. I think they will. I've got my fingers crossed, otherwise why would they bother getting feedback? No point in even bothering to ask for it if they weren't going to use it, so they're probably going to use it. So what have they announced for future plans for PvP? The next set was matchmaking changes. I'm just kind of wandering around. Hope you guys don't mind. Tatooine on the Republic side is actually quite small. The first base, Anchorhead, it's very contained with walls. The Imperial base is pretty strange. It's kind of all over the place if you see it here, and the taxi's way far away. So here we go. Matchmaking is another place that we wanted to make some pretty big improvements for Game Update 5.9.2. Below you will find our planned changes. All Warzones and Starfighter queues are now cross-faction. And that is awesome! Okay, I've seen some players upset that this kind of breaks the immersion of the game. The fact that you're queuing up with Imperial players when you're supposed to be the Republic versus the Empire. But when it comes to the actual mechanics of the game, making queues cross-faction absolutely helps queue time. What is the most important part of player versus player? Getting to actually do matches. Sure, the fact that you're Sith versus Jedi is cool. Sure, it's got a cool environment. Sure, some objectives are more fun than the others. But in the end, people just want to actually play PvP. And making the queues cross-faction will increase that ability. So let's say you have only 4 Imperial players online and 8 Republic players. Nah, you have more than 8. You have a whole bunch of Republic players, but not a lot of Imperial ones. This way, you can actually have a queue pop versus just waiting for more of those minority players to actually log in. It also makes matchmaking itself better because they can better divide the teams by skill and probably by gear or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. The unranked Warzone queue will now always prioritize Warzones over arenas. An arena match will only pop if there are not enough players to populate a full Warzone match at that time. So what does this do? I always assumed this was the way it worked, but apparently it wasn't. Warzones are the 8-person versus 8-person matches, and they have objectives rather than just being kill the other players on the team. I personally find them more fun. That's an objective opinion though. I'm not very good at actual combat. I'm not very skilled at rotations. I'm not very great at being the best I can be with my class, so the death matches are usually pretty rough for me. But players who really enjoy the meta, really enjoy learning about the strengths and weaknesses of each class, who enjoy gearing themselves to an absolute T and of perfection, arenas are really their jam, because it's very much a logistics plus skill game. So unfortunately for them, arenas will likely happen a lot less often. Basically, they're gonna happen when you have less than 16 players in the queue. Because if it can't do 8, if it can do 8 versus 8, it'll do 8 versus 8. If it can't, it'll do the 4 versus 4. Am I supposed to be in here? Oh yeah, I see a bonus. Next up, role balancing. Matchmaking will never place more than 2 tanks or healers on the same team in a war zone, or 1 tank or healer in an arena, which is very nice. I don't know how it's going to work for queue times. Technically that should make them longer, but it will make the games a heck of a lot more balanced. If you've ever been in a war zone that's like has 4 healers on your team, it gets kind of a mess. A very skilled team can pull it off, but just a general random assortment of people, it just doesn't work well. Same thing with arenas. If you don't have your perfect assortment, it just doesn't work well. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that change actually improves things, or if people are mad that they don't queue up properly anymore. What's interesting, I'm wondering about, is people who queue up as a team. For example, if I have 2 or 3 other friends that I want to play PvP with, we go together and then we'll get matched up with enough other random people to play an arena or to play an 8 versus 8 match. But now, sometimes we're just queuing up for fun, not necessarily for strategy or even really to win, though we try. And maybe 2 of us will be tanks, or 2 of us will be healers, or we won't just have that perfect setup that you need. I'm wondering if the group finder for war zones will start saying something like, sorry, your group is not correctly set up. You need to pick the correct roles. It's going to be an interesting question. So basically what will happen, if you want to group up with your friends for PvP, I'm supposed to be in here. What I'm supposed to do? Aha. Signal a defeat exchange forces. Yep. Stick the detonator on the floor. Blow it up! What will happen is if you have, let's say 3 of you are healers, you probably won't be able to queue up as a group together in PvP. That's what it sounds like. Or if you have 3 tanks. It also sounds like if all 4 of your team members, your buddies, are DPS, you'll probably get paired up with 2 tanks and 2 DPS. It's kind of problematic because of the example I just gave. Sometimes it can be hard to actually find those less frequent roles like healers and tanks, and you just gotta make a match based on what you got available. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. This guy's strong, doesn't die fast. Give me your stuff. I need credits so I can go buy cosmetic things, which is, I'm pretty sure, what I spent all my credits on already. Oh, we got Calig's mask! Oh, I didn't even look at that! I didn't look at my inventory! Oh, come here. Oh, of course you can't see it. Here, let's put in our outfit instead. Oh, I'm not even wearing a helmet? Wait a second. Here we go. Where's Javiik's little space Barbie outfit? Ta-da! And oh no! I've somehow got it so it's hide head slot is on. I'm not sure how, but it is, because that's supposed to be a preferred player thing or a subscribed player thing. But this is the mask. It looks freaking awesome. I really like seeing my player's face no matter what character I use. I very rarely use a mask, so we're gonna just cherish this in our inventory and go back to our dark robes of darkness. And let's get out of here. Killed all the droids we need to kill. Awesome. In situations Where there are an odd number of tanks/healers, matchmaking will do its best to place the combined number of tanks and healers evenly. Example, there are 3 healers and 1 tank. Matchmaking will attempt to make the teams 2 healers and 1 tank versus 1 healer. Oh, I guess that answers my previous question. The matchmaking sounds like it's going to be very clever in that regard and basically do the best it can. Like, if you were someone trying to divide the teams as a person, that sounds like something you might do. At least everyone will be vaguely sorted, if not perfectly balanced. So that's nice to hear that they took that into account. Sounds like they thought about it. Now, to skill balancing for matchmaking for PvP. Matchmaking will more strongly take player skill into account when making teams. This is something I'm very curious about what the heck it means. What does player skill mean? Does this mean like how you've performed, like how many medals you got in past war zones? Like, if I was to judge player skill, it would obviously be something I'd actually have to watch them do. I couldn't like get the computer to record it somehow, but obviously the matchmaking system is not me watching players and dividing them into teams. It's an automated system. It's based on some types of numbers or achievements or something like that. So maybe it's like the number of war zones you've played. Maybe it's your gear score. A more skilled player will have leaned towards certain types of stats and stuff like that, showing that they're knowledgeable about the game. I don't know.
Your smuggling ring is broken. Here's everything I could salvage.
Excellent. I was hoping that was you I was hearing about. The local authorities have been all in a dither about an unprovoked massacre of suspected exchange members. I hope this compensates you sufficiently for your time.
Pre-made groups queuing for ranked... Oh, I need to pick one of these. Healing, healing, healing. Oh, power mastery. I don't really care. I'm level 41. I'm not worrying too much about my gear. I'm just gonna sell it anyway. Pre-made groups queuing for ranked and unranked war zones in GSF will now have their matchmaking skill based on the highest rated member, not the team's average rating. So that's something that's also been very interesting. There's been kind of confusion about what exactly that means. What are these communication codes? Am I supposed to be scanning them? Find communication codes in the body of exchange infiltrators. Let's go back in there, see if we can find those guys. How about you? Are you evil? If I kill you, will I find out if you're for the quest? Eh? Got good stuff? Nope, just a dead body. Sorry. Basically what it means is you won't, if you're queuing as a group for ranked and unranked war zones. Let's say you really suck, you're a bad player, you have a low skill rating, you've never done war zones before, and you're queuing up with a friend who's really good, who's awesome. They've been playing for a while, they have lots of highest rated, is that their gear score? Whatever, they're an awesome player all around and they have a high ranking in this new matchmaking system. The game will basically ignore your rating. And maybe if you have 2 other players in your team who suck as much as you, it'll ignore theirs too and only base the matchmaking on the highest rated member, not the team's average. I have no idea if this is a good or bad change. Those of you who PvP, especially ranked, I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. I don't know if it's a good change or a bad change, but the other changes seem well thought out, at least I think, but I'm sure players who PvP more have more to say about that than I do. And I'm not too keen on this stage 1 bonus quest here. If I run into them, I'll kill them. Not. That's okay, that's okay. Wait, what? Oh, darn it! I'm supposed to be on my ship. I hate when that happens. It's, I forgot to talk to my terminal. Again, as usual. I need to, like, put a sticky note on the door of my ship that says, Swtorista, do not leave until you have talked to the glowing blue thing on your ship. I understand it's tempting that you traveled to a planet and now wish to access the planet, but that is not how the game wants you to behave. I would also love a little communicator so I can hollow Zash Maybe my ship has a more private line. It's more secure line to her, because no one should know about her secret plots and the horrible things she wants me to get into. Secret rituals on Tatooine? No one must know. So here's the last change for the PvP matchmaking changes that they are proposing. Galactic Starfighter matchmaking has been improved to better account for player experience along with their currently selected ship loadout. That's for those of you who like space PvP. I have no idea if that one's good or bad either. So all of these changes have the goal of making Warzones and Starfighter matches pop more regularly and be more balanced overall. So if you want to know how to, or rather if you have any comments about these changes that you want to share with the developers, if you are subscribed to the game, you can go to Google and type SWTOR.com/dev tracker, DEV like developer, tracker as in I'm tracking my bounty. And those will usually help you find the developer posts. If you do not have a subscribed account for SWTOR and can't post on the official forums, another way to make your voice heard is find the appropriate thread on reddit.com/r/SWTOR, SWTOR, and that is a free forum, and the developers do sometimes actually look at it for opinions and stuff like that. So the second big post that they made, apart from lots of clarifications about the other stuff that I mentioned for the changes and stuff from last time, they have planned Warzone changes part 2. Alrighty, but let's talk to our shiny blue thing first.
I see you've made it to Tatooine. Not the most luxurious destination, but trust me, the artifact is close. You'll need to find the pirate Andronicus Revel. He should be quite familiar with this piece.
Who is this Andronicus Revel, and what's his interest in Sith artifacts?
He was once a pirate, and the artifact was once a prize. He stole the artifact out of some Sith ruins, but when his crew mutinied, they took it. I sent a cruiser to recover the artifact, but all they found was Andronicus in an escape pod, half mad. We let him stew for a while in Imperial prison, and then released him. He's been hunting his crew down ever since, and we've been watching.
Does this Andronicus know you're using him to get to the artifact?
Does it matter? He gets what he wants, revenge, and you and I get what we want, the artifact. He's never lingered longer than it takes to kill, but Tatooine is different. It's been weeks. I believe Andronicus has found the leader of the mutiny, and with him the artifact. Find Andronicus and you'll find a clear course.
Just show me where the fun is.
I don't know precisely. Andronicus must have come through the spaceport at some point. Start with the shipmaster. Good luck, apprentice. And remember, every piece draws you closer to your full potential.
Before I jump into those additional PvP changes, I did want to talk a little bit about why we should care about the different parts of the game, especially those that we ourselves don't really play. I'm assuming probably not that many of you, as a percentage, play PvP on a regular basis, like it's your main part of your game that you like to do. If you had to pick any activity in the game, you would PvP. If you do, hi, you're amazing. But I'm sure there's also many of you out there who really don't care, don't want to play PvP, just want to play solo story, maybe just want to do operations and flashpoints, don't want to step into a war zone and fight other players and work on a team of random players to not die. And that's okay. You're allowed to like whatever type of the game you want to play. Play how you want. But we should care about the health of the other parts of the game, and that the other parts of the game are great for other players. This is because overall, the more people playing the game and enjoying the game and continuing to play the game and not dump it out of anger or frustration or boredom, the more that the developers of the game can say, yes, this game is worth investing to. Much like any other business venture, Star Wars: The Old Republic is an investment. Thousands and thousands of dollars are spent every month paying the developers of the game, paying for the technology and the technology upgrades for the servers. We're just literally paying the electricity bill, I can imagine, is pretty high at BioWare Austin in Texas.
Have you heard of a pirate named Andronicus Revel?
Pirate? Nah, I don't consort with those types. Bad for business. Tatooine's not much of a place, but it's best to keep your nose clean anyway. Hey, bribe.
Maybe a bribe will persuade you.
That's how we do business here on Tatooine. I've seen Andronicus Revel, landed here a couple weeks ago. But you don't want anything to do with that guy, believe me.
You'd better make this good.
Okay, I hear he shows up every now and again at the cantina in Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley. But I'm warning you, the guy's crazy. He don't talk to nobody. Don't drink anything stronger than water. The only reason Reg the cantina owner, don't kick Andronicus out is because he's scared to death of him. But he didn't hear it from me. Alright. Reading those, they go by faster than I can read them out loud. Old man Swtorista is not gonna make it through the next conversation. So as I was saying, the more players who are enjoying the game, so bigger numbers, and the more players who are enjoying the game enough to subscribe, the better for the overall health of the game. So one day, long in the future, hopefully the game will be done. This happens to all online games just because technology progresses, the things we enjoy as society progresses, trends progress, things change over time. One day, in a galaxy, nope, not in a galaxy far, far away, but a time far, far away, Star Wars itself, people will lose interest with it. Seeing as all the movies are coming out, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. Oh, I forgot where I was going with this. Anyways, we want other players to enjoy the game so that the numbers of the overall game stay up. No, number two, as being good people, not just people who want to think about the game as an investment, we want other players to enjoy their various parts of the game because we want them to allow us to enjoy ours. So for example, role players often get a lot of grief from other players. Ooh, is there a door here? Oh, it's up there. I just was at the cantina. And this is usually known as the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's actually, I always thought it was a Bible quote, but it is actually not. It's just a quote. And what that rule means is not an exact reciprocal, have what happens to you, I want it to happen to me. It's specifically things like, I would like others to not make fun of me, so I will not make fun of others. I would like someone to ask my opinion when they do something to me versus I do something to them, stuff like that. That wasn't the best explanation, but you get where I'm going with this. So I would like other players to treat the way I play nicely, so I will treat other players nicely in turn. So for example, I don't say, PvPers, they suck. Every time they work on PvP, it means they're not working on the parts of the game I like to play. They're not putting more cosmetics into the game, which is my favorite part of the game. They're not letting the train go by.
Come on, don't be shy. Get up there.
I'm fine down here, thank you.
Don't be like that. You're one of us now.
So next time you go to make fun or be discouraged by someone else's playstyle, whether it's the developers investing time into that playstyle or their just general existence is getting on your nerves, remember how you'd like to be treated by them and try and reciprocate it. Yes, for me specifically, them updating PvP really doesn't affect me at all, but the reason I like to share the news and I like to be really happy that they're actually making the updates is because I'm excited for you guys, for you other players out there who are enjoying it, and I hope some of that excitement is shared by you guys, whether or not you're a PvP master.
I'm looking for a pirate named Andronicus Revel.
Look, I even though I knew him, I wouldn't tell you where he is. Oh, too fast! Not that I listen anyway. Look, Sith, this is a peaceful establishment. We don't want any trouble. So buy a drink, enjoy yourself, but don't start nothing.
I won't start anything if you tell me what I want to know.
You're not going to let this thing go, are you? For the last time, Sith. I don't know the fella. Never heard of him. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Or can I get some peace? Shock him.
Do you know anyone who does know Andronicus?
You want him? Find him, try talking to that no-good, worthless dancer. Spends more time flirting than dancing, and more time yapping than either. I bet she's seen him. She seems like, she doesn't seem very worthless. She seems like, the clients at the bar are very happy. Let's go talk to that dancer, and then I promise I'll stop talking about the ethics of treating other people nicely. Get off the table!
Reg says you know Andronicus Revel.
I hate to break it to you, sweetie, but Regid lied to his own grandmother. Him's the only one that's been doing business with Andronicus. I never seen the guy in my life. But for a price, I can tell you how to get old Reg to give up any information you want. I like how every option there's the ability to shock her. I'm broke. Let's make a deal. I got the creds.
You tell me how to get Reg to talk, and I won't kill you.
Alright. No need to get all crazy-eyed. Take this bottle to Reg. It's a somnaski coal red, a rare drink. Star Wars drinks. It costs a small fortune, so you can't blame me for trying to make the money back, right? Alright. I don't know how this bottle of wine's gonna help me. Should I smash it over his head?
This bottle has your name on it. If you tell me where to find a certain pirate.
Genuine Samnaskal Red? Where'd you find that? You don't understand, Sith. If Andronicus Revel doesn't want to be found, nobody's going to find him. He'll kill me if I tell him, or worse.
How would you feel if I dropped this bottle?
No, don't do that. Do you know how rare this stuff is? Okay, give me the red, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Just don't tell Andronicus who told you, okay? You'll kill me!
I'll make sure Andronicus doesn't find out you told.
Andronicus keeps a room upstairs. He likes his privacy, and he pays me not to let on he's here. Of course, it helps the time he caught somebody telling on him to one of the exchange gang. He brought their brains out. Oh my gosh. Bug him at your own risk, but if he's up in his room, it usually means he doesn't want to be bothered. Alright, let's go bother a pirate. Kimval, I know you have a story to tell, but you can tell it on the ship later if we remember to ever talk to you. Cantina just doesn't seem like the right place to do it. Never was fond of talking about their like private history in the cantinas. Oh, Andronicus time. Cool.
Andronicus Revel. I believe you have the artifact I'm looking for.
Webb, folks aren't supposed to know I'm here.
I'm sorry, Andronicus. It was that damn bartender.
Take care of it. Now, Sith, your artifact. I don't have it, and I'm glad. Thing drove my crew insane. They mutinied. I floated 10 days in a disabled escape pod and spent 30 more in Imperial lockup on account of that hunk of rock.
Convenient excuse for failure.
Those artifacts belong to my master, little Sith. Do not underestimate what they can do.
I know what I saw, Sith. But I won't stop you from going after that rock if you want it. The guy who has your artifact is the guy I'm on Tatooine to kill. Silas Wilkes. My old first mate. He started the mutiny, then tossed me into space. Now he's an exchange big shot. He's got your Sith toy.
Perhaps a partnership is in order.
Glad you see it that way. It'll take both of us to get Wilkes. I've been chasing Wilkes halfway across the galaxy. Stole my favorite blasters, not to mention my pride. Lucky thing I got a contact inside the exchange. Only I can't exactly just stroll into the exchange base.
The exchange doesn't scare me.
They don't scare me either. Only I can't shoot lightning from my fingertips. Contact's name is Casey Ricks, old friend who used to be part of my crew. But she, doesn't exactly know I'm here. She's sure to know where Wilkes is hiding. Tell her you know me, and she'll tell you everything.
Consider it done.
You get that information, you can do what you want with it. But I'd appreciate it if you came back here first. Me and Wilkes are long overdue for a talk.
This sounds like a gruesome talk. So, without ado, let's go right into the Hutball and Quishball changes that the developers are proposing to the game. We have some concerns about the dominance of classes with movement abilities in Hutball. The proposed changes will run you into a corner. The proposed changes will help encourage more team play in the Warzone. We also want to create more situations for counterplay and competition in Hutball while ensuring all players are rewarded for their efforts. Alright, let's head out into the desert, it looks like. Carrying the Hutball now applies Hinder to the character. Hinder prevents the use of high mobility actions such as Force Charge, Force Speed, Scamper, and more. I'm assuming on my trooper that means I can no longer use Hold the Line, which is terribly sad. Number 2. Due to the Hinder changes above, players holding the Hutball will now move at 80% movement speed, up from 67%. Players can no longer catch the Hutball while stunned. This creates more opportunities for counterplay, such as intercepting passes intended for a target you stun. So let's go back up to those movement changes. Basically, it from what I can tell, it kind of evens the playing field. Some classes have what I like to know as a zoom ability that makes you go really fast, and this is super useful in Hutball, because if you can just move fast and get to the end zone, you don't have to worry about passing the ball or defending yourself or stopping to fight. You just go choop, choop, and there you are, you're done if you're already in the end area. But not all players have that advantage, so I guess it just makes it so everyone is kind of on an even playing field when it comes to carrying the ball and their speed and movement. I have seen a lot of players have a lot of comments about this, good and bad, mostly bad. I don't know if it is a fair change, but lots of players are saying they dislike it. Guess we'll see how it actually goes, or if they'll take that feedback, I don't know.
Criminals and vagabonds. Everywhere on Tatooine, the Empire's great works are besieged by criminals and vagabonds.
Major Veer, sir, you have a guest.
My lord, such an unexpected pleasure. Guided to this backwards province to bring order and discipline, no doubt?
Fill me in on the situation.
As I was just explaining to the lazy sots in my command, the Exchange Crime Syndicate is flagrantly defying the Empire's directives. They're banned by Imperial law, yet they've given refuge here to dozens of murderers, spice dealers. They've even started processing spice outside Mos Illa, and yet my men refuse to act.
But sir, we lost 15 men in our last attempt.
Quiet! I am well versed in this company's many failures. Clearly, I must turn elsewhere to see Imperial law restored.
There's nothing I like more than a good purge.
I'm pleased that you're so enthusiastic, my lord. The job is simple. The spice processing operation outside Mos Illa must be completely obliterated, and its guards killed as a lesson. With their men dead and machinery destroyed, the message will be clear. I look forward to seeing you when it is done.
Purge! Alright, so let's back up again. 2. Players can no longer catch the Hutball while stunned. So I didn't even know you could catch the Hutball while stunned, so I'm feeling kind of dumb. Maybe it's a certain situation thing? I want to say it's not all stuns. Dunno though. This creates more opportunities for counterplay, such as intercepting passes intended for the target you stun. Next is, I've seen a lot of people have a lot of comments about that one too. Adding attacker points for catching a pass from a friendly target. Currently, the thrower of the Hutball receives 500 points, but not the receiver. We will increase the receiver to gain 250 points for not being totally useless. That's not in the notes. We would also like a touchdown pass to award both players equally. Currently, the thrower gets 500 more points. Here's what the new breakdown would look like. 10 points for the attacker, 10 points for completing the pass, Ton of points for throwing a scoring pass, ton of points for receiving a friendly pass, or ton of points for possessing the ball for a score. Where's our little purple guy? Here we go. Doop.
Casey Ricks. Andronicus sent me. He said you know where to find Silas Wilkes.
Andronicus? You mean he's out of prison? He doing all right? And he's after Wilkes. Figures. Andronicus doesn't really forgive or forget. Hey, you're not planning to harm him, are you?
I promise not to hurt him.
Okay, then. I'll tell you where to find that son of a hut. In fact, I'll make sure he's there so you can kill him. Wilkes's base is hidden out of Ether's view. Andronicus will know what I mean.
Out of Ether's view. I think I can remember that.
Good. Let me call Wilkes. Make sure he stays put. It'd be a shame for you to storm HQ while he's out.
Don't do anything you'll regret.
Like warn Wilkes? We both know that'd be suicide.
Casey, sweetheart, got something to report? Andronicus hasn't turned up, has he?
Oh, sigh. What do I have to do to make you stop worrying about Andronicus?
Well, I could think of a few things. Have you reconsidered my offer?
That's why I called. Are you free in, say, a couple of hours? We could talk about it. In person.
I always have time for you. I'll be right here, sweetheart, whenever you're ready.
Ugh, I hate that guy. Andronicus never went for that eyelash batting junk, but Wilkes is there, so hurry up and kill him.
This should prove most helpful.
I wish I had chosen that. I wish I hadn't
little
seen
goes
that
a long
option.
way with Wilkes's brand of self-love.
They were just...
But I won't shed any tears when he's gone, to say the least.
They were just looking to make a friendly crafting trade, right? Reconsider that offer? Of course, of course. I don't know. These guys are not friendly, but they're in my way. I would have rather just to walk around them. So, back to the updates. There are quite a few places where players can exploit to prevent themselves from dying. That's called cheating. Or at least cheating accidentally. We plan to address them and implement ways to penalize those players. Additionally, we want to take another look at how the acid mechanics work at the end of arena matches to see if we can improve the experience for stalemates. Here are our thoughts. Characters who hack their way into places they shouldn't be, such as outside the arena or in the ground, will die. That seems more than fair. Personally, I would like to see players who manage to hack their way into the ground or outside the arena have their accounts banned. That seems like the fair way to do it, but having them die in the middle of the arena is the more hilarious way. My guess for the reason why they don't just auto-ban their accounts is because maybe there are ways that they could wind up there accidentally. I don't know, through glitches, whatever. They don't want to ban someone who was genuinely just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That, or maybe they just find this way funnier. Could go either way. Currently, acid causes characters to take 10% of their max health in damage every second, preventing stealth and all healing. But one more thing here. Oh, it just wants me to kill people. I'm not too worried about murdering random people. Those quests only give you XP, and I kind of got XP out the wazoo right now. Let's go Tatooine traveling. Here's how they want it to work now. Characters will take 1% of their max health in damage every second and reduce all healing done and received by 2% per stack. Hey, I'm trying to run away. I don't want to fight you. Characters affected by acid will begin with 1 stack and gain 1 stack per second. Acid will still inhibit stealth. This means at the very end of an arena, match will now get progressively more dangerous. This gives more time for players to fight each other and counterplay before their inevitable acid death. This should also address cases where stealth characters in particular can just CC and run away to win a match, which I have actually seen a friend do and I thought was hilarious, but I wasn't sure why the game even allowed you to do that because it seemed pretty ridiculous. So, I'm glad they're, of course, addressing exploits. That's, I think everybody can consider that a win, regardless of their thoughts on the other changes. And once again, if you are a subscriber to the game, you can leave your thoughts on the official forums. Let them know whether you love them or hate them. And the more critique you can provide, the more they have to think about. Rather than just saying, I hate this, say why you hate it. Oh no! I hate this! I hate it because I'm dying! How do I get over there? There we go. We're on the right way now. Back on our speeder. And that is the major news. There was not any changes to the game, but they're proposing a lot of changes. So what we have coming up this summer is going to be the PvP updates, including those changes, as well as hopefully some fun PvP events and the Rishi Stronghold. And later on in the year, we have the introduction of a new storyline that we don't know much about. Woohoo! Either way, sounds like there's a lot coming this year. Now, in Star Wars news, woo! I'm really excited to talk about this, and I'm glad to have gotten through the PvP changes because this is something I'm really personally excited about. There is something called the Star Wars Celebration, and this is not something that happens every year. It happens basically whenever Star Wars feels like it's a good time for it to happen. It is a fan-focused event. It is a convention, kind of like an expo or a Comic-Con, but 100% focused on Star Wars. And when I started YouTubing, I didn't even know it existed. But last year in 2017, I was like, oh, I'll start planning for 2018. I'll meet other Star Wars fans. It'll be awesome. But I found out there wasn't even going to be a 2018 convention, so I was very sad, and I wasn't sure there would ever be one again. But a little while ago, they announced that tickets would go on sale June 5th, and the next one would be April 11th to April 15th, 2019. I'm bad with dates, so if you need to go, you should go check the dates yourself. Just don't rely on me. But it will be in 2019 in Chicago, and I have been very much obsessing over it, and I already bought my ticket, and I'm definitely going. So if you live near Chicago or you're planning on going to the event, I'll see you there. Probably be bringing cool stuff to give away and taking photos and dressing up in cosplay and everything. It'll be great. I'm really looking forward to seeing other Star Wars The Old Republic players there, though I have a feeling they will be in the minority. That's okay. I love Star Wars too, not just SWTOR. But what has been very interesting about the event, in the past, I actually wanted to go to the one in 2017, I think, but by the time I got wind of it, tickets had long sold out, and it was too late to be planning anything properly, so it was kind of a waste. Tickets had sold out, not the individual tickets, but like the pass for the entire event that was 4 days long had sold out about 4 months before the event started. That's more than fair enough. The event before that, tickets had not sold out until about a day or two before the event happened, so there was tickets for days. This time, tickets are practically sold out. According to the owner of the event, the 5-day passes sold out within almost 2 days of them being available for sale. So before they were available for almost a year, the next time they were available for months and months and months, and this time they were sold out within 2 days. Supposedly almost sold out. This is insane! That is a crazy, crazy difference. So people are like, what the heck is going on? Is there less tickets available than normal? Are people just super more interested in Star Wars than ever before? Is this just a marketing ploy? They're saying, oh, it's almost sold out, so you better buy it now. According to the people who run the event, they're saying that just because of the sheer amount of people in Chicago, there's about 7 million people? Yes, 7 million people in Chicago. That's a lot of people. And it's assumed that a certain percentage of them are Star Wars fans, and all of them bought tickets. So I don't even know if by the time this video comes out, they will even have 5-day passes anymore. Apparently they'll still have single-day passes. I'm kind of hoping they'll release some other type of passes as well and tickets. We'll see. Something else crazy that happened is that they have a special type of ticket called VIP ticket, a Jedi Master ticket, and this gets you like early entrance to a lot of the events. It gets you other special stuff. It's very highly coveted and very expensive. This year it was $850. In past years it sounded like there was about only 300 of these special tickets. Like they're very limited so that they can make the experience worth it for those who do buy them. These tickets sold out in under 1 minute. I've seen about the lowest estimate being 11 seconds is how long it took for them to sell out. And what's crazy is you'd see that and you'd be like, oh, it's bots. Bots got all the tickets, those robots on the internet that buy them to resell them. But nope. As far as I can tell, it's all real people. There was just enough people interested and refreshing the page frantically trying to get that VIP ticket that they sold out almost literally immediately. Ooh, little droid.
I am Frere One of the Sons of Palawa. You have won this battle, and I call for parley. You brutalized our keepings. Tell us why our wives and children weep, so that this feud may be honorable.
I thought slaughtering your people would be fun.
You truly are despicable. We know about the Empire's expedition. Whatever you're after, you won't find it. The desert protects its own. And though we can't keep you from departing, beware Tatooine, and beware our vengeance. You've made an enemy today.
Bye.
Vengeance can wait. For now, we can part in peace.
Go. We have injured to tend to, and graves to dig. We'll meet again soon enough.
Sorry about your dead people. See, someone at least acknowledges that I'm a mass murderer of an online game. So, point of the story that I'm trying to get at, not only did the VIP tickets sell out almost immediately, the normal 5-day passes sold out in almost 2 days. They might still have some left. If you're planning to get them, you should get them like right now. StarWarsCelebration.com, pretty easy to get to. And I think the tickets are about $200 for 5 days. And even the hotels were really rough. I was hoping to find a 2-bed hotel right beside the convention, so I could maybe split it with somebody else and we could get a good deal. But nope, I wasn't even able to find a 2-bed anywhere, much less nearby, so I managed getting just a single room for me and my lovely husband, and we will take the subway or take an Uber to the event. So if you want to get your tickets, get them now. If you want hotels, it's going to be fairly rough, but if you keep checking the hotels page, things are basically, some visitors have booked multiple rooms trying to see what the best deal will be, so some will be released over time as people delete them or accept other ones, stuff like that. You don't have to pay for the hotel right away, which is nice. As far as I understand, you can just book it or pick your dates, lock them in, and then you pay closer to April. And you can change them up until that point. But for the tickets, you gotta pay right away. So if you have multiple people you're buying tickets for, it's gonna be kind of expensive. So $400 for 2 people, like $600 or $700 for 3, stuff like that.
Look sharp, men. This is what success looks like. An entire exchange operation crushed like an insect. May your accomplishment inspire them to do their own jobs half as well.
Then I'm finished here.
Our Empire's standing will be much improved thanks to your work. Farewell.
Crashed like a bag. I think this is a good point to call it a night. And I will see you at Star Wars Celebration 2019.